If you were being persecuted and needed to hear words of encouragement, you'd probably need some Braveheart type words, right? Something that encouraged you to put it all on the line. But that's not the approach that we have in today's gospel. Once more, Jesus turns it all upside down. Stick around, I'm Father Lorenzo from Ambo. This is The Cutaway. By now you might recall that we have talked about how each of the four Gospels was actually written to a specific audience with a specific goal in mind. The Gospel of John, whom we spent most of our Easter time with, that was, you want to know God? Know Jesus. The Gospel of Matthew was written to a Jewish audience to clearly show how Jesus was the culmination of the Old Testament and the prophets. The Gospel of Luke was intended to reach the Greeks who didn't know the Old Testament, and their message was all about Jesus. And finally, Mark, the one we're with this year. It was written to encourage Christians in Rome who were feeling the effects of tribulation for the cause of Jesus. And so, when writing to those under siege, Mark lays a big idea out there today. The reign of God, that part of the Our Father that says, your will be done here as it is in heaven. The reign of God will happen. Bank on it. Guaranteed. Done. Microphone drop. Boop. And he uses the example of a mustard seed. The little mustard seed. Why use nature at all to encourage people? Because Jesus is telling us, like nature, it will take time for it to grow. It's not a day-to-day, it's a changing thing. But rather, it's a century-to-century changing thing. Well now, 20 centuries later, it can feel like we haven't made much progress at all, doesn't it? But haven't we? I'll give you just one example. In 1817, in an overcrowded prison in England, a 9-year-old child was condemned to death for stealing something worth, in today's dollars, the equivalent of 1 cent. Today, 2 centuries later, and maybe one more year after that, that would be simply unacceptable. So the message of this long-term growth is really a message of hope. Even if today or tomorrow you can't see it, the reign of God is continuing to come little by little, step by step. Does your life seem stuck? Wait it out. You pray and can't seem to see changes in your life? Be hopeful. Seems like the whole world is against you? No, you are growing and transforming. That's the thing about the mustard seed. They become incredibly large trees, not overnight, but over time, guaranteed. Let me know what you think in the comments down here below. And if you like this video, be sure you hit the like button, which is somewhere right about over here. When you do, cats, who would probably eat the mustard seed, well, they'll love you for it. And be sure to share with your friends. I'm Father Lorenzo Labrija from Los Angeles. See you next week on The Cutaway.